Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into Breaking Bet here on this Wednesday, November 26th. Happy Thanksgiving. This is it's a big holiday. I know this is a sleeper holiday. Not sleeper, but everybody's always talking about Christmas, and a lot of people I talk to say that this is their favorite holiday. I got my guy Brad Thomas here to break that theory down. What do you say, Brad? Thanksgiving, your
Dude,
favorite holiday?
man, tomorrow is going to be lit, right? Like, I already put my parlays in because I don't want to deal with
Ooh.
scrambling around while I'm trying to
Yep.
figure out Thanksgiving food. I'm going to be cooking up. Oh my God, bro. I'm going to be watching football all day long. And like, this is crazy. I was supposed to be traveling during the day. Well, my flight got moved to 10 p.m. So I'm going to be traveling at 10 p.m. So I'm going to have all day to watch football. Don't have to leave for the airport until 8 o'clock, maybe like 7:30. So I'll be watching the Bengals game at the airport. It's going to be epic.
Ooh. You know what I noticed? I don't know if this happened in the past, but the early games are always 12:30, and now it's 1 o'clock. Is that new?
I don't know.
I
I'm
always
always
remember,
in I'm always in central time zone, so my time's always messing up when I'm for Thanksgiving, but
it being 12:30, but neither here nor there. Brad, last week was was all right. All over the Rams. Had a couple tough ones with the big spreads here. A couple backdoors
yep.
by Tennessee. And well, not the Jets, but the Ravens weren't able to get over that hook there. But overall, man, I think week 12 was pretty solid, but now we're heading into a big week 13, highlighted by an awesome Thanksgiving Day slate. We do not very often get those kind of just three-headed monsters on Turkey Day, but we
Yeah,
have it.
dude.
But before we look into that, what are you expecting for week 13 here?
Dude, week 13, another week of teams getting over injury. The slate's like, it's really weird because I consider it top heavy. There's a lot of really good games early in the slate on Thanksgiving, and then it kind of dwindles down to some snore fest, some snooze fest. So I'm just really expecting like the fireworks early on Thanksgiving, and then like we ease ourselves in on Black Friday, and then just continue the rest on Sunday.
Yeah, I think for me, some of these teams that are in this lull period, you got a team like Kansas City, man. They give them credit. They clawed back against Indianapolis. I thought Indy was going to be really tough in this one. I thought 3.5 was just a tad too big. Turns out I was right there, but I kind of got peer pressured by you to take Kansas City with 3 and a hook. But look, man, teams like Kansas City who are still on the bubble and really need to get it going here. Are we going to see them in these last 4 or 5 games, whatever it is, really kick it into gear and be able to get themselves into a position to not only make the playoffs, but win their division or clinch up a number 1 seed? So a lot to be decided here, the rest of the way. But with that being said, Brad, let's take a look at what we have for Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday. That new tradition there, starting games on Black Friday. First up, we're going to go with the Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions. Big time NFC North divisional tilt. Currently, somehow, the Chicago Bears are 8-3 in the driver's seat in the NFC North, like everybody projected. But Green Bay and Detroit are right there, man.
Yep.
You got two teams that, look, I think right now the both of us would agree that Green Bay is really not this unbeatable team. I liked Minnesota last week, and if you looked at it, their defense didn't play bad at all. One of the touchdowns was because of a muff punt that completely changed the game and ruined the spread. But, the Vikings defense was overall pretty solid. I'm not in love with what I'm seeing from Green Bay. And on the flip side, Detroit, it that was a wild game, dude. James Winston, vintage, Wan'Dale Robinson, career day, went against him in fantasy. So, of course, that happened. And look, man, the Lions show that they're a good team, right? Because they got punched in the mouth as a huge favorite at home. And instead of crumbling, they found a way to claw their back in and ultimately get the W there. But a little bit concerning because that's a game where against Jameis Winston and Wan'Dale is the wide receiver 1 that Detroit's defense should have really brought the house down. Offense looked fine as usual, but there's some questions that have to be answered. Big relief, Brad, is Hall of Fame center Frank Ragnell's coming out of retirement, unspecified if he's going to play this week on a short announcement or it's going to wait another week. But nevertheless, the Lions are 2.5-point favorite at home, seeking revenge from opening week with a total of 48.5. Is this a Detroit Lions spot?
Yeah, dude, I already took in Detroit Lions -2.5. I'm going to be interested to see what happens to this number, right? It's still under the touchdown. I wonder if there's going to be just late money coming on the Packers, thinking that if you get the 3 at +110, +115, it's still good, given how good or how let's see, convincing the Packers have been in at least hanging around. They haven't been the most dominating team in terms of blowing teams out, but they've been getting the job done. And then the Detroit Lions could have been looking ahead when they're playing against the Giants, but they weren't good defensively. And the Giants did throw a lot at them, right? Like a lot of circus gadget plays, trick plays, because the Giants have nothing to lose but just go out there and have fun. But the Lions, at the end of the day, got the job done. And Jared Goff didn't start that game off well, but finished off really freaking nice. But I do think the Lions win, right? This game, Thanksgiving on home, building on a Thanksgiving streak. They ended a 7-game losing streak on Thanksgiving last year and won. So now they can go 2 in a row for like the first time ever on Thanksgiving. I think that means a little bit, right? It's going to be a crazy crowd. Like imagine the crowd that gets the opportunity to go to a Thanksgiving game. Those guys are going to be absolutely insane. And I just think like with Josh Jacobs banged up, you know, you have Emmanuel Wilson back there, but Josh Jacobs banged up. Jaden Reed's still out. This passing game trying to figure itself out. I still think the upper hand goes to the Detroit Lions. They can control the pace on the ground and through the air. And I think ultimately they win and cover.
I agree. I like the Lions here. I think 2.5 is a little light. I understand it's a divisional game, but the Lions are waiting for revenge here. You know, the Lions played probably their worst game all season in week 1 against this Packers team. And I think this is a get back spot, a place where Detroit's like, listen, we need to really get on a run here to have a shot to win the NFC North, but we got to dish a little payback to the Packers. We got to make sure we're exacting a little bit of revenge here.
Yep.
But, you know, I think there's a lot of matchup advantages. How about our boy Jahmyr Gibbs, man? My God, this kid is.
I have him in fantasy. I scored 200 points this week. In half point PPR scored 200. It was insane.
He is something special, dude. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. What a stud. So interesting thing here, matchup wise. I saw somebody tweet this, so it gave me the idea. Like we did our show on Sunday. I was still sick. Honestly, I've been sick. Really, today's the first day I really started feeling better. And even though I was home all day, had nothing to do but watch TV and movies, I really wasn't looking at the lines. And then I saw on Twitter somebody was talking about a Jahmyr Gibbs reception prop, and I started looking into it a little bit more. So obviously this kid's been getting a lot of work in the pass game, you know, in certain spots, but Green Bay's defense really where they're susceptible to the running backs out of the backfield. Now, the Jahmyr Gibbs reception props are starting to become this little sneaky trend for the week. And Green Bay's not horrible against receivers or running backs out of the backfield, but they're bottom 10. Jahmyr Gibbs toasted them in week 1. So this is an opportunity to take advantage of. I'm probably going to include a Jahmyr Gibbs reception prop in this one. I know their defense has been overall pretty tough against the running backs on the ground this year. That's an opportunity where they shut him down in week 1. Obviously, a lot's changed, but I think I'm going to be looking at some Jahmyr Gibbs, maybe 5 catches, maybe sprinkle on a little ladder piece. I feel like this ultimately could be a neutral game script throughout. And we know it's a little bizarre, right? Like Jahmyr Gibbs had somehow 11 catches last week for 45 yards, but you know, there's games where he gets 1, 2, or 3 catches because they're just not throwing him the rock a ton. But I think this is a spot where we could see Gibbs getting 5+ easy.
Yeah, I'm on Jahmyr Gibbs 5+. You highlighted how he torched them 10 targets in the first game they played against each other. Typically, when you have teams that have good running defense and it's running backs that are heavily utilized, teams figure out ways to get them the ball, and the best way to get them the ball are on those short passes, use them in the pass game. But also since Campbell's taken over, calling the plays. We start with the Washington game. Jahmyr Gibbs had 4 targets before they blew him out and didn't need to throw the ball anymore. Following game, he had 8 targets, then 11 targets. It's clear that Dan Campbell wants to get Jahmyr Gibbs the ball. And if you're unable to effectively run the ball, why not throw it to arguably your most dynamic player on offense? I thought it was a really compelling prop.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And, we're on the subject here of this Lions offense. How are we feeling about Amon-Ra? 76.5 receiving. Like, on paper, Green Bay has done well against wide receivers, but dude, numbers lie sometimes. I know if you dive into maybe some of the more advanced metrics, it might suggest that a guy like Amon-Ra should be able to do some good stuff here tomorrow against this Packers defense, which we both agree. Their front seven is really good.
Yeah.
But when it gets to their secondary, that is vulnerable. They haven't played a ton of top receivers. And sometimes when they have, like, for example, last week against the Vikings with Jettas, you got J.J. McCarthy, who looks like, honestly, a JV quarterback.
Yeah.
So this is a combination here where I think Jared Goff and Amon-Ra can get in sync here as long as Goff's been able to be held upright. So anything on the way of Amon-Ra or even maybe JMO?
I prefer Amon-Ra St. Brown because this really got me thinking when I was watching Puka run through the C gap and start his route through the C gap. And I was like,
Ooh, that was nice.
Man, that really looks kind of familiar. And I went back and I was like, man, Amon-Ra St. Brown runs those kind of routes like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it made me dive a little bit deeper. And I was like, even though it does, like, Amon-Ra St. Brown's not one of those receivers that we talk about frequently, right? Like, we don't hold him in the same esteem in terms of how much we talk about him as Puka Nacua, but they manufacture touches for him, right? Yep. They tried to get him the ball because, number one, he's your most reliable pass catcher, but he's also dynamic with the ball in his hands. I think that's the most underrated skill with him. So I don't dislike his receiving over. I think he's going to get ample opportunities. Yeah, and you talked about the Packers. Like, their pass defense is not all that great. I think it's their 18th in EPA per pass, which definitely is not high enough. And if you want to talk about a chain mover, a guy who's going to get you those 8 yards on 3rd and 8, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Especially no Laporta. I think that's really important as well.
It is. That's a huge weapon for them. I'm going to say, man, I love this matchup. I think it's good that we're both in agreement on this one because I just feel like the Lions are the right side here. I think they're the better team. They're at home, and they're looking to dish a little payback. And, this is a really good appetizer to a very nice triple header on Thanksgiving. It's very fitting that this is the slate on Thanksgiving because it's an absolute feast.
Yeah.
And we got a little nice appetizer here between the Packers and the Lions. So we'll circle back to this game. We're cooking up our parlay here at the end of the Thanksgiving Day slate because the main course, Brad, Kansas City Chiefs, 3.5-point favorites at the Dallas Cowboys. Could this be a shootout?
It's got to be a shootout, right? Like, I feel like Dallas Cowboys are only involved in shootouts nowadays. And the Kansas City Chiefs, like, we could poke holes in their defense. Like, that game script could have been totally different. Like, it could have been more than 40 points in regulation against the Colts if the Colts hadn't just gone up while they were up 14-0 early in the game. It would have been a totally different story. Especially like the Dallas Cowboys are so bad in the back end. I don't have a side though, right? Because I feel like the Dallas Cowboys will play up on Thanksgiving, and defensively they've looked much more improved. But it's just so hard to count out Patrick Mahomes, right? Like, in that Chiefs game, the Colts totally fumbled the bag, but still Patrick Mahomes was really impressive. Didn't throw for a touchdown, but still had 350 plus passing yards, and he willed his team to victory. So.
Yeah, 3.5 is very fitting for this line because I was having a little bit of trouble. Listen, for me, I think Kansas City is going to win this game, but this is a 4:30 kickoff tomorrow, at least on FanDuel. I haven't checked everywhere, which is something you should do. That's a good habit to make practice out of. But Dallas right now on FanDuel, at least, 3.5 is -122, which tells us what? This is a very good chance of tipping to 3 flat. 3 flat, I'm definitely on Kansas City. Otherwise, I like KC in a money line parlay here, but we're gonna cook that up as well. I mean, you can use context clues to decipher what we're gonna put in there. But Brad, I like Kansas City here. to get going. It was a great win that Dallas had. I was on Dallas last week, +3, 3.5, whatever. I like them to keep that close. Interdivision dog at home. That spot proved. Defense really tightened up in the second half after Philly went up 21-0, shut down. So kudos to the Cowboys. Look, you could maybe make the same argument for Kansas City against Indianapolis, the way they had to come back there. But I understand Dallas is a tradition, home Thanksgiving. Does this feel a little bit like a letdown spot? You expend so much, not just physical energy, but mental acuity, if that's the right word, against your hated division rival, Philly. Like, you put so much into that game. Does it feel like perhaps a bit of a letdown spot if you're the Dallas Cowboys? Not saying you're taking Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes lightly, especially on a game of this day on Thanksgiving, primetime. But, you know, sometimes we see a little bit of a regression because of just how much you put into the week before against Philly.
Yeah, it's natural for them to come into this game kind of with the massive letdown angle sitting behind them. And this is like the team, the Chiefs, that you can't start slow. Like, if you start slow against the Chiefs, it's really hard to come back. I just feel like that Dallas is like, man, they're a team I just can't figure out, because like even in that Eagles game, like that first half, they were not good. They buckled down, and defensively they didn't allow a point in the second half, but I still think you could still throw over the top of them. The Chiefs don't really have like players that I'm too overly concerned about throwing over the top of them. Yeah, they have Thornton. Yeah, they have Worthy, but the timing hasn't always been there, and they're not consistent guys down the field. So we'll see. It definitely smells like a little letdown spot, but another team that I think it should build off the Thanksgiving crowd. I just feel like Javonte Williams is going to score a touchdown and jump in the Make-A-Wish bucket.
That's Salvation Army. And yeah, that's interesting. I'm going to side with Kansas City right now, at least to win. I think flat 3, I'm definitely jumping on them. But some interesting props here, and I think the books and the bettors took notice. Rashee Rice, anytime touchdowns, -135, at least on FanDuel. I haven't shopped anywhere else. I don't know how many times since Rice has been back that he's been minus to score, but I think it's a combination of Rice just being the guy and the fact that he's going against the worst secondary in football in terms of touchdowns allowed to wide receivers. It's not even close. They've allowed 18 touchdowns to wide receivers. So let me ask you, would you lay it with Rice -135 to get in the end zone here?
Dude, early bird gets the worm. I took Rice at -105. It's just a perfect spot for Rice to score. There's no one on this team that's utilized in the red zone more than him and Kareem Hunt. And so if they're throwing the ball.
I'm sorry, buddy. I couldn't believe he didn't score that game. Of course, I needed him. He had 2 chances. He missed the back shoulder, and then he
the one on the ground.
And then he was literally sitting on the ground out of bounds. I'm like, no.
But yeah, they're gonna have ample opportunities. Like, you even see, like, they try to get him the ball in the red zone. Like, they freaking did a shovel pass and a freaking run trying to get him touchdowns. So in a game that projects to be 52 plus points, I think it's really good. I took him 2+ again.
Yeah, I think Rice 2+ is interesting. He is to score 2+, only 5-1.
He was a little bit higher than that earlier. No, I got him 5-1. Yep.
He is 425 on DK, so it's interesting. 2+ is interesting. If I was cooking up a 2+ touchdown parlay, little sprinkle piece, I'd probably put Rice in that boat there. But anything on the Cowboy side, man, I mean, George Pickens is continuing to just eat. I mean, Pickens the last 6 weeks has probably been top 3 receiver in the NFL. His totals were in the low 60s. They've pushed up so high now they're in the 70s. It's 73.5 right now. Pickens, man, always been talented. Now he's in the right offense, but it really helps when you have CeeDee Lamb sitting on the opposite side of you.
Yeah, I like George Pickens. It's hard to not like him, especially what he's doing this season. He's a little banged up, which kind of gives me a pause. And like, I just don't like betting guys who are just consistently going over, right? Like, eventually the dam's gonna break, and it's gonna be like, man, what happened? How'd I lose that one? I think this is like probably the game to just stay away from Pickens. I bet him
Mm.
last week and the week before as well.
Yeah, it's tough because I don't want to take the kids under just the way he's been playing.
Exactly. Yep.
Hot streak up. It's the theory we talked about. I think we mentioned this on Sunday. It's like we like roulette. I stick to one color. I
Yep.
play black. I don't play red. Just because 10 blacks in a row came out doesn't mean I'm going to go red or vice versa. So it's one of those things. And obviously, this is a case by case. Kansas City against wide receivers overall this season, counting stats wise, has been pretty good, but not really going to let that factor into my decision. But overall, I just think Pickens is a little bit banged up here. I do get intrigued if this ends up turning into a track meet and both offenses are just letting it fly. But I think Rice is the guy I'm targeting here. I think 6.5 catches, minus 122 to the over is solid. He's been getting looked at early and often. I mean, you saw against Indianapolis, obviously it was a pass-heavy game script in the second half when they were trying to come back, but he still ends up getting it. I mean, he was getting a ton of targets late. So I think Rice over catches and at least the touchdown is fair game here. And I got to say, man, I think Travis Kelce coming back to life. I might be possibly looking to sprinkle a little Kelce piece in.
Man, I'm not betting Travis Kelce. Sick of it. Like
He's been doing good.
He has, but every time I bet him in big games, especially primetime, like primetime Travis Kelce, you think he's gonna go off and like go insane, and he doesn't. And I'm like,
he's not.
Oh man.
So he's at 5.5 plus 114 to the over. I am starting my fantasy league this week, so let's hope he does something special. All right, so Kansas City and Rice. I'm actually going to read the parlay to you that I had. We'll give a bit of a teaser.
Okay.
I cooked this up earlier. I haven't played it, but I probably will. KC money line, Rice 7 catches.
You love the Rice 7 catches.
I like it. Rice 7 catches just feels right. Detroit minus 2.5. Jahmyr Gibbs 5 catches. And then we'll tease for this. If Kansas City, Dallas was the entree, Cincinnati, Baltimore is the dessert. Cincinnati, Ravens, 7 points. Joe Burrow is back. Jamar Chase is back, but looks like T. Higgins is going to be out here. 7 points is a lot. In recent years, the Ravens have had the Bengals number. But I think we both agree that the Ravens have not looked good. They keep letting these teams like Cleveland and the Jets hang around. Lamar has not looked good since he came back against Miami. Derrick Henry, he really hasn't looked good either. The Ravens pass catchers are dropping passes. Their defense hasn't looked great, if we're being honest. Is 7 too big in this spot here?
Oh, God. Feels like it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, oh my God, I just can't figure out this freaking the Ravens team. Is it like Lamar Jackson? Is it like he's not practicing, so he's not not performing well, or at least not performing in rhythm with his wide receivers? This is a weird game because the Bengals are the dead last and run defense. And then you have the Ravens, who really need a spark and really need Derrick Henry to get going. And then on the flip side, the Ravens pass D is horrible. Then you have Jamar Chase and possibly Joey B coming back. I think 7's huge. And anecdotally, we say the Bengals don't get blown out frequently. They cover the spread all the time. That sounds like I say they're always in it. But they've only covered one of their last 4 games. Granted, a couple of those were 3-point favorites, 3-point dogs. One was a 3-point favorite, so it's not like the end of the world. Not like they were 10-point dogs or 7-point dogs. But I want to lead the Bengals, but their defense is just so bad. They played against the Chiefs, dude. I mean, oh my God, I've said the wrong name 3 times. Excuse me. They played against the Patriots, dude, and it was the worst first half that I've seen from Drake May all season. And then the Patriots still covered the spread.
It's 51.5, by the way.
Okay.
So let's just read this off.
Yep.
We're dating back. 35-34 Ravens, 41-38 Ravens, OT, 34-20 Ravens, 27-24 Ravens, 24-17 Bengals, 27-16 Bengals, 19-17 Ravens, and then we got a handful of blowouts here. But most of these have been relatively close.
Yeah.
I'd probably here's the thing. These teams it's just such a big rivalry. I'm not sold on either defense, and I think the Bengals are going to be amped up. I think both teams are going to be amped up here. I'd probably lean over. I know primetime games have not been going over. It's just like a recent trend, but just off face value, I think I like this one to be higher scoring. T. Higgins being out does stymie the Bengals offense a little bit, and maybe Baltimore has a lot of success on the ground against this putrid Cincinnati run defense. But look, man, it's a close call here. 7 points is a lot, man. It's a lot. In a divisional game with now a competent quarterback and star wide receiver,
A lot.
I'm probably going Cincinnati with the 7 here. I'd be surprised if this gets off 7. Ultimately, I just think you're two teams that know each other very well and are probably going to end up playing a close game. Could come down to the final possession. I like Cincinnati getting the 7 here, man. I understand how bad the Bengals defense is. But my thing is this. If Cincinnati can put up 24 to 26 points, I think I'd be surprised to see them not cover 7 or at least push.
I mean, if they put up 24, they're probably covering. Like, that's probably clear as day. I just don't feel like this Ravens team is capable of putting up 34 points. That have put up 35 points.
Well, this is different, though. It's just there's games where you just get up for. This is a game.
Yeah. The
Ravens would get up.
Game at home, Thanksgiving. I know, but I'm just not like bought in on this Ravens team yet. Not offensively.
All right, so let's discuss props in this one. Henry cooked me last week in a parlay. I don't know. I don't know if it's he's slowing down or it's just teams are just stacking the box and, with Lamar's injury, they're not respecting the run as much or what it is. I mean, listen, Henry's still having a great year. Let's not get it twisted, but he's had a lot of these underperforming games. Let's go back. 21 for 64 last week against the Jets. He went 18 for 103 against the Browns, but that's misleading because he had a 60-yard run. He was doing nothing up to that point. 20 for 75 the week before. 19 for 119 against Miami. I mean, we watched that game. That was a little bizarre because that was a couple big runs that just ripped that one off. It feel like he somehow backed his way into that. Before that, 21 for 71. Cooked the Rams, 24 for 122. 15 for 33 against the Texans, 8 for 42 against the Chiefs. Game script went sideways. 12 for 50 against the Lions, 11 for 23 against Cleveland, and he destroyed Buffalo, 18 for 169. So the Henry train really hasn't been that big, with the exception of a couple games, thanks to a few big runs. I feel like it's slowing down a little bit here. So Henry's 90.5. And granted, he could absolutely hit this, but I'm just not loving what I'm seeing from Henry.
No, I'm not loving it. Like the best bet has been opposing running backs against the Bengals.
Yeah.
But not only are you paying the tax, you're paying the tax for a guy who hasn't really been sniffing 100 recently. And they probably should have hit it last week against the Jets. I think if you like Derrick Henry running the ball, you should bet him 2+ touchdowns, about plus 225. They're clearly making a concerted effort to give him the ball in the red zone. He scored 2 last week. I think it's better than 100 plus at plus 125.
Okay. Now let me ask you. We got to talk about Jamar Chase. This Jamar Chase number is 92.5. I feel like a lot of people are going to be on his over. The Joe Burr Jamar train is back. This is a bad secondary. Jamar Chase can go nuclear. Is the over 92.5 a sucker's play, or is this full steam ahead?
No, I took 100 plus.
Okay.
I thought he was gonna get a ton of work, and they can freaking do whatever they want to try to take Jamar Chase out of the game. But like the type of wide receiver he's really hard to take out of the game. They're going to focus. He's gonna be the focal point of this offense. Maybe a little work for Chase Brown, but with T. Higgins out, like it's clear that it's gonna be Jamar Chase against this really porous secondary. I wasn't really worried about him starting off at a high number. I thought 100 plus was more than obtainable, especially in a high scoring game.
Do you want to hear what he did last year
Yeah.
against Ravens? Okay. 11 for 17 for 264 and 3 touchdowns. And then the first meeting, 10 for 12 for 193 and 2 touchdowns. So he had in 2 meetings, 21 catches over 4. Oh, shit. You're going to make me do math right now. Let's just say he got close to 500 yards and he had 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts. I think it's be a big night. I like Jamar Chase yards. I think something, if you're going to go ladder, I think a ladder play it's interesting is maybe like Chase 125, Jahmyr Gibbs like 7 catches, maybe Rashee Rice 9 catches, something like that. Like an interesting long shot ladder piece. But I think I will go Chase on the over here. Listen, if it falls short, it falls short. But I think this is probably going to be a shootout. I think Chase is probably good for 12-plus targets in this one. Joe Burrow, we missed his guy. He's been chomping at the bit to get back on the field. So that being said, the parlay that I cooked up was KC money line, Rice 7 catches. Lions minus 2.5, Gibbs 5 catches. Bengals plus 7, Jamar Chase took the lower on the all 80 yards. That is over 20-1. What say you?
What'd you say?
The whole thing?
No, just the last part.
Oh, Bengals plus 7, Chase 80 yards.
Yep.
As
Chase
the
100 plus.
I might go nice little spot there on that. What do you think out of this? What do you think the loser is? If there's a loser.
If there's a loser.
Yeah.
If there's a loser, Bengals.
Plus 7?
Yeah.
Maybe get cute, take the Bengals like plus 10.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't hate it though.
All right, let's talk here. What are we cooking for the Thanksgiving Day parlay? Let's talk business here. Let's get real.
All right. Let's start with the first game.
Lions money line.
Lions money line. Yep. Okay.
All right. Let's go. Amon-Ra 70 yards.
Okay.
Jahmyr Gibbs. Now let's leave Jahmyr Gibbs out of that.
Yeah.
Let's go Amon-Ra 70, Lions money line. Kansas City money line.
Do you want to go Watson? Christian Watson? He's going to be a
fuck
focal
him.
part. Okay. He's 50 for juice anyway. All right, let's go to the next game.
Stay away from everybody in Green Bay. All right. Kansas City money line. What are you feeling prop-wise in this game? Rice, or you want to go somebody else?
I don't want to go Rice receiving over because, like, he pulled up with a hammy last week, and hammies just don't heal.
Ooh.
That fast.
So no Rice Tutty then either.
I don't mind Tutty because they clearly showed when he came back from his hammy that they didn't mind running him in the red zone. He didn't get a ton of run like in the field of play, but when they got to that freaking red zone, he stuffed his ass back in there.
Well, did they say anything about him? Like he's not in jeopardy of like
No. That's why I bet him touchdown. We just all know how it goes with hammies, though, right? Like,
yeah,
he's never going to be running as hard as he runs until it's game time.
All right, so Rice Tutty minus 135. Ugh. Okay, and then late
wait.
game. What?
Are we overthinking this? Like, why are we not taking Kareem Hunt touchdown?
Oh, Kareem.
God, I hate that bet. I'm just fucking.
I hate it. It's disgusting, but
I hate it. All right, so let's go Rasheed Rice.
Kareem Hunt's plus 125. Kareem Hunt is literally automatic from inside the 3.
I know it's so annoying.
We're going Rice or we're going Hunt?
No, we can take what Rice. I mean,
We
I
go Hunt.
already have Rice. I don't want to keep. I don't want to bet other players. I guess I'll say this. I have Juju Smith-Schuster at 9-1 to score a touchdown.
Let's go Hunt. Let's put Hunt in there.
All right.
You can put Hunt and Rice.
No.
Well, we can circle back to that. All right, Bengals, Ravens, 7. We go over 51.5, or we could take the alt down. We could take Bengals plus
I don't
10.
have a clear picture on this side of total, so whatever you want to do here.
All right, I'll tell you what. Let's make it a little bit better. I know some people are going to be like, what are you morons doing? All right, let's take the Bengals 10.5. And then Jamar Chase over 92.5.
Okay. Hold on. What the heck? All right.
What's Jamar Chase's longest receiving reception?
It's probably shit.
What do you think it is? Like 35.5? Chase is 25.5. All right, over 92.5. 1844. You like that?
Yeah, it's solid.
KC money line, Hunt touchdown. Like Hunt had a lot of carries last week. Lions money line. I'm on Ross 70s. Bengals 10.5. Chase 92.5.
Yeah, I like it.
Like it?
Yep.
Let's not mail it in yet. Because we got one more game to talk about on this little slate here. That's Black Friday. Bears at the Eagles, full 7, 44.5. Brad, I got to be honest. I know the Eagles are going to be looking for revenge big time. This is like an Eagles put up or shut up spot. But I don't know if I could justify laying a full 7 with them right now.
Dude, I don't know if I could justify either team. If I try to position an argument for either side, it'd be me just discrediting the other, not like the positives of the one that I want to bet on. And that I feel like that's never a good situation, right? Like the Bears, I saw this stat and I thought it was freaking hilarious. The Bears are the worst statistic DVOA team, 8-3 DVOA team, which is phenomenal. Like the worst statistic team that's been 8-3 ever, which is pretty funny. They like the Eagles offensively are so weird, bro. Like I don't know what they were doing in that second half against the Cowboys. Defensively, they're still pretty stout, but they didn't look that defensively great in the second half against the Cowboys. And honestly, I don't want to hear anyone say like the Eagles got robbed or it was influenced by fumbles and stuff like that. The Cowboys probably should have been up by halftime, and they came back and won. It was not a good performance, but I just don't think the Bears are that good. I think they just squeaked by wins. And like when the Eagles pass rush gets there, we're going to get like more of that Caleb Williams BS, right? Where he's just costing his team points or field position.
Mm-hmm. I got to be honest, man. This is probably a game I'd need a little bit more time on. My early lean is with the Bears. Still some injury news regarding Devontae Smith, if he's going to play. They're not even offering his receiving yards prop. I think I don't have a strong feel in this game. I don't even know if I'd be inclined to include anything in a parlay. I would lean Chicago getting 7. I know Philly's probably going to be just super amped up off a bounce back or a rebound spot, but probably still in Chicago. All right. We like this parlay?
Yeah.
Is Kareem Hunt the decider, or what are we doing on that?
Dude, I feel like Kareem Hunt's going to get in the freaking end
Do you?
zone. Dude, it's just like they give him so many freaking opportunities. It's insane.
They do, don't they? I mean, the guy's just always getting in. He's already got 7 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air. I mean, this is what pissed me off, though, right? He's got a touchdown scored in 4 straight games. When is the streak going to stop? Dallas against the running backs. I mean, it's a little skewed, though, because now they got Quinn and Williams. So it's obviously skewed. But I got to say, they really haven't been letting a ton of touchdowns on the ground. It's only 7, but granted, that's because everybody's probably passing on them. I'm fine with Kareem Hunt. If you want. What are the odds on that at Hard Rock?
Horrible. I don't know. I got to type it in. Let me see. St. Brown, 70 plus. We have to do 65 or 80 plus for St. Brown, or do his. What would you prefer?
Are you shitting me? What's his number?
65 or 80?
I hate Hard Rock. Why do they do this? Well, what's his flat number? 74?
82 and a half.
His number's 82 and a half?
Yep.
All right, I guess do 80.
All right, Kansas City. Hard Rock is so annoying sometimes, bro. Like sometimes they'll have the team's name, and then sometimes they'll have their freaking like mascot. Like what? Like make up your mind. They don't even have it. Wait, this time they have KC. Oh, thanks. KC, Kareem Hunt touchdown, and then Bengals plus 10.5 alternate spread, and going the wrong way. It pays 12-1.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
I don't know how that book is in business. Oh,
it's Monopoly, man.
It's terrible. It is Monopoly. It really is. Somebody's got to come rescue us. All right, let's circle back to that till the end of the show. We got a lot of ground to cover. All right, so for Sunday, Rams are at the Panthers. 10.5, big number. West to east travel. Brad, Carolina. They were in that game. They were in that game on a tough travel spot. They didn't cover, but they had a shot. A little bizarre. They were down 8 points and decided to go for 2 to make it 6. I don't really understand that.
That was stupid, but what? Like I don't understand that at all.
Yeah,
like
I don't get it. It's a little shady, considering the spread was 7.5. But nevertheless, the Rams, dude, they're hot right now. I don't care West East travel. I know Carolina can put up a fight here. I got to keep rolling with the gravy train, man. Rams minus 10.5. Sean McVay has proven that over time that he's had no problem getting his team prepared and adjusted for this travel. The biggest thing for me is the travel.
Yeah.
The Rams, you could say, well, it was a big win for them. Probably it could be a letdown spot. I don't think so, man. This is who they've been. They've been steamrolling good teams. They've been steamrolling bad teams. They're just on a different level right now. I'd go as far as to say I don't think there's any team even close to them in the NFL right now. They're putting pedal to the metal every week. They look that much better than everybody else, no matter who's put in front of them. They have the MVP favorite. They have one of the best wide receiver duos. They have one of the top 10 running backs, maybe better. Their defense is playing really well. They have a top head coach in the NFL. It's simple for me. I'm laying it with the Rams, man. Lay the big.
Yeah, Bryce Young hasn't been good under pressure so far this season. His numbers have improved from season 1 to season 3 to year 3, where he was at 24.5 pressure to sack rate, all the way down to 14. But honestly, like his numbers are appalling. Where he has games where he's like 22 plus in pressure to sack rate. He has one that's 33 plus pressure to sack rate. Turnover worthy passes, averaging like 3 per game, which is. Against this team, they're going to eat you alive because you don't want to be behind the 8 ball. I just don't know what Bryce Young's going to do with pressure in his face all game. I like the Rams minus the 10.5.
Yeah, I do too. I could see this one jump up as well. I could see this one close something along the lines of like 11.5, 12. We've seen some aggressive movement here. Might honestly, it might think about dabbling in some Rico Dowdle catch props, especially if they're playing from behind. The Rams defense isn't great. It's not bad against receivers out of the backfield. No catch props offered, still early in the week, but definitely going to be highlighting that for Carolina's props. But yeah, I like it with the Rams.
Yep.
Interesting here. It's Arizona at Tampa -2.5. Obviously, the big question is what's going on with Baker. That sucks, man.
Gosh, it hurts.
His non-throwing shoulder. It's brutal. So this is clearly a huge thing. And I think the line here suggests that Baker probably isn't playing, or at least, this game's Sunday, but we're on Wednesday right now. So really the big thing here, Brad, is 2.5 probably becomes 8.5 if Baker plays. But assuming he doesn't play, it's been a spiral downwards for Tampa quickly since that Detroit game. I don't know. There's no way I'm betting Teddy Bridgewater.
No way.
I don't care the travel. I'm taking Arizona all day if it's Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater's trash.
He looked like he just got off the bus. Like
He looks like a quarterback who hasn't thrown an NFL pass in quite some time.
Yeah.
I think the Bucks need to win this game because this losing streak can be really bad for a head coach, right? Yeah. You're in first place in your division. You were steamrolling, cruising. I know you can't outcoach injuries, but the team's just been looking uncompetitive, dude. That's bad.
Yeah, it's not good. It's definitely not good. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to handicap. I can't make a final call until we know the status of Baker. But to be honest, man, he dislocated his non-throwing shoulder. He could gut it out, but I mean, if I'm Tampa Bay, I don't know if I'm pushing him to play this game because you have a lot of winnable games the rest of the way. You just got to win your division. Yeah. And if Baker gets hurt, their season's done. Yeah. Non-throwing shoulder is not the end of the world, but it's definitely something I don't know if they're going to rush him back on in this spot here. So early look with this information would still be Arizona. What about Jacksonville at Tennessee? 6.5 points for the Jags. Thriller in Arizona last week between these two teams on the wrong side of Arizona. Cost me money. Brad, I got to tell you, I think I like the Titans with the 6.5. Inter-division home dog. Tennessee, they were competitive last week in Seattle. Biggest backdoor bullshit cover I've ever seen. Seattle was manhandling them, and it just seemed like the Titans had the ball for the entire fourth quarter, and they scored a touchdown with like a minute and a half to go, covered the spread, but they've been playing hard, man. Cam Ward, we're seeing the competitive nature for Cam Ward. I think I would like the Titans. You're getting the 6.5.
Titans tried to ruin my Seattle first half team total over. They tried, man. Came down to a walk-off field goal to cash.
Yeah.
Titans were competitive in that game. Let's not forget it's a freaking good ass Seahawks team that they were going toe to toe with. The box score doesn't match with how well they played. Jaguars, man, another team that I just don't think is as good as advertised, but it'll put a lot of pressure on Cam Ward because this is a Titans team that already hasn't been getting good contributions out of their two backs. Now they play against an absolute stopper in the run game in Jacksonville. I think just because of that, and also the wide receiver core for the Titans is not all that good. I think the Jaguars can perform better, and you have to have a better bounce back from Trevor Lawrence, right? This is the game where he bounced back.
Yeah. I'm still leaning with the Titans. I don't know, man. Jacksonville, it's a weird team. It's a very bizarre team. I don't love the matchup, though. I'm not dying to bet it. But you know what I might be betting, Brad? What spot is this?
It was just your Royal Mint.
It's Royal Mint. New Orleans, Royal Mint spot getting 5.5 on the road at Miami this weekend. And Brad, the Saints team was in a Royal Mint spot earlier this year at Carolina. Not only did they cover, but they won outright. Boy, oh boy. No brainer for me. This is a Royal mint spot. Give me the Saints in this one. Did not look good against Atlanta. I think they're going to come out a little bit tougher in this
one. AK-47 is what's his number? AK-11. Alvin Kamara is out this game. This is a team that their leading rusher against the Falcons was the quarterback. They did not have a running back eclipse 20 yards against the Falcons. Hard to win games if you can't run the football. Royal or not, though, I just can't really trust the Dolphins as 5.5-point favorites. It feels a little rich for me, and like that's a pass. But I do lean the Dolphins in this situation. Tyler Shuck is just not the answer. He never was going to be the answer. Man, this is tough. This is a really tough game. But I lean the Dolphins. I still need to dig deeper into this one, I think.
You're gonna lean Dolphins?
Not bet it. Like I'm so far away from betting this game. Like it would take a miracle, like a major breakthrough that I found that I have to bet.
Yeah, I'm going New Orleans here. San Francisco at Cleveland. Inverted Roman spot means nothing. Brad, a lot of chatter about Shedeur Sanders' first start. A lot of on both sides, whether he's too arrogant or he's too confident or whatever the case is. But I think we both liked Cleveland last week.
Yeah.
Overall, it was a decent debut. Nothing too special. He had a couple really nice throws down the field. Myles Garrett, this dude's on a different planet right now. I mean, he's got 18 sacks through 11 games.
Dude,
different. It looks like he's about to shatter Michael Strahan's record. It gets to a point where every time I see Myles Garrett have a sack, I'm like, ooh, how many sacks does he have today? Every time. It's always
never like, oh, he got a sack this game. There's one. It's multiple sacks.
It's multiple. It is multiple. And I mean, he's on a different planet. So Brock Purdy's he was a mess on Monday night. I don't love this game. Am I crazy for thinking maybe Cleveland? Maybe. Short week for San Francisco. Travel. Playing a very good defense. Purdy got pummeled last week. 3 picks against the Carolina defense. I mean, in theory, San Francisco should be able to win this one by double digits, right? I'm not saying they can't, but I don't know. I think Cleveland getting a little bit too many points here with their defense.
I don't want to back the Browns because for the Browns, basically what the Browns did with Shedeur Sanders was like the absolute bare minimum. Like once they felt like the game was even remotely in their grasp, they took the ball out of Sanders' hand. A couple of plays, 2 plays, explosive plays that basically turned the tide of that game offensively. And it kind of set up Shedeur Sanders' stat line to be a lot better than it really was. This is like a total come back down to reality game. Yeah. I think the 49ers, I would take 49ers minus 9.5 in this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just sucks though, because the Niners are like close to the bottom of the NFL in pressure rate, which is not good. And Robert Saleh does not like the blitz. I think you have to blitz him.
I think I might need a little bit more time on this one. Placing my DoorDash order right now. I apologize. I have not eaten dinner. Honestly, that's probably my biggest toxic trait is DoorDash. I think I've DoorDashed every day the last 4 or 5 days. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm so grossed out by myself because I think it's a pinnacle of laziness, but middle of the show here. Anyhow, Atlanta at the Jets, 2.5 for Atlanta. Bro, it's another gross game. We're talking about it. Some of the good games are really good. The bad ones are bad. Bro, I can't get with Atlanta on the travel here. I can't buy the Jets. Like maybe just some Bijan stuff. But other than that, I don't love this game. I think possibly I would side with Atlanta with the 2.5 just because they're slightly better. But I don't think I'm running to the window to bet this one. What about you?
Dude, not even remotely running to the window to bet this one. Like Kirk Cousins stinks, man. And they're gonna be without Drake London again. The Jets, they hung in tough, but like they really offered no offensive threat, which it felt like the Ravens were okay. Like they were slightly underperforming, but the Ravens weren't overly concerned because they knew there was no real offensive threat. Like they will turn it on at some point in that game and they will continue to play well. This could be another Bijan spot, but this could also be a Brees Hall spot, which is really weird. It's like I need to dig deeper, but like both of these teams haven't really run the ball haven't really stopped the run that well. And like the Jets playing at home helps a ton with the run game there. But no, I don't want to bet this game, man. I don't want to bet this game.
I don't want to bet this game either. What about the Texans, the Colts? We're close to a Royal Mint spot here, Brad. You think this is a nice spot for Indy to bounce back, or do you think Texans are going to travel here?
I think Texans are going to travel. Listen, for the rest of the season, if I get Texans plus 3.5 or better, I'm taking them. Their defense is legit, man. What is Danny Dimes going to do with pressure in his face? Like their run defense is solid. It's not amazing, but it's solid. Their pass defense is dynamite. Their pass rush is phenomenal. And they do it a lot like the Rams where they don't need to blitz to get pressure to the quarterback. Yeah, I'm freaking taking plus 4.5 without even thinking twice.
I think I'm going to wait to see if we get the Royal Mint spot here, but I think I'm leaning Houston. I hate myself for it, but their defense is so good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's who they've been all year, man. You know, it was on prime time against Josh Allen that really people stood up and took notice. You got the extra rest factor. I don't love this offense, but I think just because of how good their defense is, if they score 14 points, which is just even crazy to think about,
yeah,
they're going to be in a lot of games.
Yep.
And that's at a floor. Like if they have one of these games where they go probably league average and are pushing 2021, they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is it Stroud? He's going to be back for this one, right?
I don't know.
Indy's tough though. I think Indy's going to win this game, but I don't know. This is a tough one. But I think early Wednesday, I'd side with Houston with the points. I know where I'm going for this one. Brad, revenge game for Sammy D. Seahawks hosting Minnesota. This is a Seattle lay it all day long. Sam Darnold's going to go nuts. I might bet Sammy D to have 4 touchdowns in this one. JSN, keep his just disgusting dominant ways going. It's not JJ McCarthy, which I don't even think it's a downgrade anymore. Bro, why would we not take Seattle laying 11.5 at home?
Yeah, man. No freaking JJ. Oh, God. Seattle 11.5. Seattle team total over because the Vikings defense is also non-existent. I also think the Seattle will have short fields because they'll win the field position game, possibly the turnover game. 11.5 for me. Sammy D, revenge freaking narrative. Sign me up for it.
I think I got to be honest. I think this is a spot where Sam Darnold this week in meetings is probably saying to Mike McDonald, "Yeah, well, let's run it up on them.
Yeah,
let's run it up on them." I think I might alt bet Sam Darnold like 4 pass touchdowns, or however many touchdowns he can get. I think this is gonna be a Darnold legacy game. He's gonna be like, "Listen, you assholes gave up on me for this kid. You sent me packing for this kid. Okay.
Yep.
That's irony, by the way." Buffalo at the Steelers 3.5. Brad, I don't love Pittsburgh. We talk about this every week, but they have these spots where they just stand up for these random games. 3 and a hook. Whether it's Rodgers or it's Rudolph, I don't know. I think Buffalo is going to be in hyper mode. They got embarrassed. Their offense got embarrassed on national TV, had 10 days to recover and prepare. I think they're going to win in Pittsburgh, and they're going to win sizable.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like this is going to be the story of the Bills this year. They get embarrassed, then they go and have a massive effort the next week, and then they get embarrassed the following week, have a massive effort. But yeah, this is a Bills team where I think the Steelers will have a little bit of offensive success, but I don't think they'll be able to go toe-to-toe. And then they get some reprieve. This is a Steelers team that has been down this year defensively, unlike playing the number one ranked defense in the NFL. So I'm on the Bills as well at the -3.5.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a spot for Buffalo to do some damage. What about the Raiders Chargers 9.5? Brad, is 9.5 too many for the Chargers coming off a bye?
No. Vegas sucks. They just fired Chip Kelly. They had no offensive identity before, and I don't think it's going to magically get better. But I also don't think Chip Kelly was the reason. Right? This is a team that probably should have went with offensive lineman in the draft, and they went with Ashton Genty. They also drafted 2 wide receivers, and this draft, one with a 2nd-round pick, the other with a 4th-round pick, and they're not utilizing them. Yeah. What is the point? This is the kind of stuff that drives me nuts. When losing teams have good draft equity in young talent offensively, and they go and pick somebody up midseason that is an aging veteran, and then they play them more than their young guys, you're out of it, right? Why are you playing Tyler Lockett on 63% of the snaps when you should be playing? I don't even know who the freaking have.
Thornton.
Besh, yeah, when they played, Thornton and Besh. Come on, those are the guys that should 60 and 55% splits, not Tyler Lockett. It's stupid.
Yeah, I agree, man. The Raiders are bad in the running for number 1 overall pick, bad. But also on the other side, let's not forget the sequence of events the Chargers have had. They got humiliated at Jacksonville. They didn't even score a touchdown. They got humiliated. I was on the Chargers. I couldn't believe it. It's just an outlier. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know if they got slipped a Michael Jordan pizza before the game and just had their flu game or whatever happened. But it was so bad. Then they go into their bye. They have 2 weeks to prepare, but 2 weeks to really reflect and be motivated on this, chomping at the bit to get back on the field. I would be disappointed if the Chargers not only don't cover, but blow them out. If the Chargers don't win by 20, I would be disappointed because you've had 2 weeks to get ready for this game. You're facing a horrible team, and for the last 2 weeks, all you've had, the taste in your mouth, has been how we went to Jacksonville, lost 35-6, and just got dominated on all fronts, embarrassed, humiliated, every adjective you could possibly use. So I like the Chargers full steam ahead. I think they're going to go nuts, man. They need a game where they score 30, win by 20. They need a game where they win 31-10.
Yeah.
And really get back on track here. Not sure who decided this. I mean, I guess in theory, preseason it looked a little bit different, but no flexing this game. Broncos at the Commanders. I know it was supposed to be Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix, but Broncos and Commanders both coming off their byes. 5.5 points here for Denver at Washington. Little travel spot. Brad, what's your thoughts here? Do you like Denver?
Yeah, I lean Denver, but I feel like this is a game where I don't need to go crazy and take the 6 because Denver hasn't really proven to be a team that has put up much of an offensive juggernaut performance. I think you just go with the Commanders team total of under 18.5 and feel kind of comfortable, right? They score 17 points. That's a win for them. Yeah, I think that's my favorite bet is Commanders under 18.5 points. I don't even care if you're booking only at 17. It's the freaking same number.
I don't love Denver at 5.5.
No.
I like it. I don't love it. I agree with the Washington Commanders total, under team total. Denver, Denver Broncos. Do the bare minimum. That's Denver. They don't seem like they're really getting up here. I mean, maybe a couple weeks off, refreshed, rejuvenated. Their defense is going to come flying around the football. I would lean Denver, But I do think the 18.5 on Washington's under is probably pretty good as well.
Yeah.
Probably a low-scoring game, probably a 2017 or 2014 type of ball game. I'm not really expecting a whole lot from this. So we're saying, man, a lot of snooze fests.
Yeah.
I don't get this one either. Giants at the Patriots Monday night, 7.5. Brad, Patriots, are we laying 7.5? Looks like Jackson Dart is going to be back. Is that too many?
Man. I don't know the thing about this Patriots team. I think it's not enough. The Patriots continuously roll people, man. Their defense is legit. The secondary's gotten better. Run game is significant. And then I say it again. Drake May tried to shut me up. I was like, man, week before, Drake May just goes out there and it looks like everything's effortless, plays the worst half football he possibly could have played, and then still finds a way to win and cover. Yes, they had a pick six. That helps a lot, but still. Man. I like the 7.5, and I could be wrong, but I like it.
They didn't cover last week. Not against the Bengals.
They didn't cover?
No, they won't. It was like 7.5. They won by 6, I think.
I thought they won by 7. They won by 6?
Maybe they won by 7. I thought they won 26-20.
Oh, then I must have played them in a teaser. I can't even spell right now. I tried to type in Patriots and I typed in Pistols.
Buddy, little tipsy.
Dude, listen, the wine glass is empty. For everyone watching, I am celebrating my birthday. And
right, my God, I'm a piece of shit friend. Happy birthday, buddy!
To be celebrating my birthday with you guys. I bought a bottle of Dr. Lucin. It's empty, but I'm gonna have some more after the show. Watch a movie and pass out. But yeah, listen. So that's if I'm talking crazy. It's because I'm enjoying it with you guys.
I am a shitty.
Yeah, they only won by 6. They did not cover against the Bengals. You are correct. They covered first half against the Bengals.
Happy birthday, buddy.
That's
great co-host, great friend for many years. Happy birthday, buddy. We love you. Here's what I think. I think one of two things is going to happen. I think the Giants are going to go into New England on Monday night and either win outright or they're going to get the doors blown off. Assuming Jackson Dart plays. The Giants' effort at the lines last week was crazy. I mean, they pulled out all the stops. They were executing the lines, couldn't get off the field. Just these 3rd and 20s. J-Mo throwing lollipop Hail Mary prayers answered. And look, man, you're not going to be able to do it against New England's defense.
Yeah.
But if Dart's back, extend the defense with the run with him, make some plays happen. Maybe the Giants defense gets a few stops, fine. I probably need a little bit more time. I'll probably have a better feel on Sunday when we do our kickoff show. I think I'd lean New England 7.5 early in the week. But I'm not falling asleep on this Giants team, buddy. I am not falling asleep on this team. I think they're definitely live here on this Monday night. That's my thoughts. But that will do it, Brad. Are we touching back here on our Thanksgiving parlay, or are we locking that in?
Chiefs, hell no. I already got one. Why can't I just tell you what mine is?
Yeah, let me see. Let me hear what you got.
I'll give a little reasoning behind it too. I really liked this one.
So no to our parlay.
No, those odds suck.
They do suck. You're not wrong.
I went with Patrick Mahomes, 25 plus rushing yards. Cowboys give up a ton of rushing yards to quarterbacks, around 34 per game, primetime game. Mahomes also talked about how excited he is to be playing on Thanksgiving. I think that buys us the narrative. Took Rashee Rice in the parlay as well. Rashee Rice we talked about in Ignatium. Jahmyr Gibbs over 4.5 receptions, added that. And then Jamar Chase, we talked about 100 plus, 12-1.
I like it. I think that's a winner.
Yeah, I hope so. I think I hit one last week too.
Yeah, crazy. You did.
Yeah, I wasn't even like, so sometimes like, when you have a kid, dude, you're just like so busy. Like you can't even think like what's going on in the game, except I just knew that we were close. And someone goes, we need 2 more catches from Coker, and I was like, dude, Coker's already had 3 targets before he had his first catch. So like, I was like, we should be good about that in a losing position, and we cashed. It was nice.
That is nice. That is nice. But Brad, you are a gentleman and a scholar. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in night before Thanksgiving. Go out, have fun. Don't drink and drive.
Do
Be
not drink and
safe.
drive.
Get a ride. Really appreciate you guys. And have a great Thanksgiving, man. Have a great long weekend. And we'll see you guys all here on Sunday, ready to get more winners for week 13. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.